Hey everyone. First, let me preface this and say this is not a review nor a critique of Guild Wars 2. It's simply my opinion and what I think of it after playing roughly 100 hours and finishing the last chapter of the personal story. I made the mistake of not capturing any gameplay at the early levels, so everything you see here is me after beating the first big bad dragon, but what I'm gonna say should give you an idea of the game. I played this journey completely free to play, with some help from the amazing community here and there. And I didn't want to buy the expansions, so I don't feel forced to continue the story when I feel burnt out. I've played many MMORPGs, from Terra to World of Warcraft, which became my main for a few years, solely for the PvP aspect. But the world never truly captivated me. It always felt repetitive and leveling was a chore. Guild Wars 2 for me is the complete opposite, because it doesn't hold your hand and just let you do whatever you like, whether it's questing and completing each zone, or doing events, or just by exploring the map and unlocking waypoints and solving puzzles, or doing my favorite activity, that is world bosses, that have their own unique mechanics and require you to team up with every player in the zone to take the boss down. The concept of not holding my hands completely changed what an MMORPG is for me. Especially with the beautifully crafted world, you feel every bit of it alive, and no matter what you do, you'll always be rewarded. There are 5 playable races: Asura, Sylvari, Human, Norn, and Char. And each one of them has a personal storyline with different choices. You can also pick your own character background and personality, like charm, dignity, or strength, and you'll be able to affect your story a little bit. What intrigued me is every time there is something related to the story, you'll get a cutscene, with the characters related to it with a voice line dialogue. Even the dungeons have their own story, and of course their own voice line cutscenes. This not only makes the game more immersive, but makes you invested in the story more.
Who just attacked us?
Separatist scum trying to sabotage the Char-Human treaty. Uzalon must be working with them. And I'd bet my left arm that Codicus is also involved.
Personally, I felt the last chapter and the last fight was underwhelming, because the game kept hinting since early levels that there is evil coming and we need to unite against it. And they mentioned Zaitan's name a few times, but all I got was infinite spawning enemies that are just annoying and a cannon to defeat Zaitan. And I know this is just the first dragon, as people told me that the gameplay improves later on and it gets much better. But all of what I did, just to kill him with a cannon? Now we've come to my favorite part, and honestly I'm excited to talk about extensively, and it's the PvP. I think I'm confident to say that Guild Wars 2 has one of the best combat systems and PvP I've ever seen in an MMORPG. There are different ways to play PvP. For me, I mostly played Conquest, which is exactly like Capture the Flag, but not only that, it also has bonus objectives that can reward your team the points required to win. There is many different ways to play PvP in Guild Wars 2. There is World vs World, which is like server versus server, with insane amount of players. And there's 2 vs 2, 3 vs 3, tournaments, custom games, and so on. The most interesting thing is, for Conquest, all gear is equalized, and you can start playing from level 2, and have all the skills unlocked for you, because the game gives you basic items, and there's a few limitations if you want to try PvP. There are many builds and combos with high skill ceiling that makes the game always interesting. For example, there are 8 classes, or as they are called, professions, and each profession has its own unique set of skills, specializations, and ultimate ability. For example, I played a ranger, and my unique ability is having bets. On the other hand, I tried a necromancer, and his unique ability is a skill called Shroud, and so on. And that's not all. Each profession can equip 2 different weapons, and each weapon has a different set of skills that you can swap between for a short cooldown. And you can try most, if not all, of what I said in the core free-to-play version. As I said before, that you can do whatever you want and the game will reward you. It's the same for PvP. There are more rewards the more you play. Even if some of them are useless, you can still sell them for gold or dismantle them for materials. This point looks easy to take.
2 seconds later.
Do it! Do it!
Come on, kill me! I'm here! Come on! Do it now! Kill me!
I'm a meta slave, and I search for the best build I can afford as a ranger. And at first, I felt it's bad, but only because I didn't understand what I'm doing. And the more I learned about my profession, the more I enjoyed it. Like sometimes, I feel I know what I'm doing and actually help my team. But other times, I don't do anything, but I still win. Guild Wars 2 launched in 2012, and I created my account in 2015 and forgot about it. But when I logged in this year, I was showered with birthday gifts from the past 7 years. This just goes to show how much this game respects me, and I know I skipped many mechanics that are in the game, like the economy, fractals, raids, achievements, but only because I was focusing at what's given to me. In the end, all I have to say that Guild Wars 2 impressed me far more than I expected, and I hope you guys tell me what you think about this video and share your thoughts with me.